Princess Anne has always been known for her no-nonsense attitude, but what she just revealed has sent shockwaves through the royal family. In a stunning turn of events, Anne has broken her silence, directly impacting Prince William and Catherine's roles. Her unexpected move has left King Charles scrambling, and the monarchy may never be the same. Is this the end of the royal family as we know it? Let's find out. The royal rebel and tireless worker, Princess Anne, the only daughter of Queen Elizabeth II, has always been known for standing out within the British royal family. But now it seems to be finally over because she just broke the silence and shocked the future King and Queen of England. But before we get to that, let's first talk about who Anne is and why her words hold immense weight. Born in 1950, Anne quickly developed a reputation as someone who wasn't going to follow the typical royal playbook. She has consistently forged her own path, often being called a royal rebel because of her no-nonsense approach to life, her work, and her royal duties. She's seen as tough, hard-working, and fiercely independent, setting her apart from many other members of the family, particularly her younger counterparts. Throughout her life, Anne has never been one to seek the limelight in the way some royals do. Unlike her brothers or even her nephews, William and Harry, she's managed to keep a relatively low profile, even as she carries out an incredible amount of work behind the scenes. This dedication has earned her respect, both within and outside the royal circle. While she may not be front and center in the headlines, her influence within the family and on the institution of the monarchy is undeniable. One of the key aspects that defines Princess Anne's role is her reputation as one of the hardest-working royals. While many younger members of the family receive attention for their glamorous lives, Anne is known for rolling up her sleeves and getting down to business. She has been deeply committed to her royal duties, supporting more than 300 charities and organizations throughout her career. Whether it's traveling to different parts of the country or attending events across the world, Anne's work ethic is unmatched. She's regularly cited as the royal who undertakes the most public engagements year after year. What makes this even more impressive is that Anne doesn't just show up for these events, she is fully engaged in the causes she supports. Her no-nonsense attitude means that when she backs a charity or organization, she's involved at a meaningful level. From being a long-time patron of Save the Children to supporting equestrian charities, which is, by the way, one of her personal passions, Anne is fully committed to making a difference. In a family often criticized for being out of touch, Princess Anne stands as a clear example of a royal who genuinely puts in the work. She's not interested in being a figurehead or just showing up for photo ops. Instead, she has spent decades building relationships with charities and truly understanding the causes she supports. Many royal observers have commented that Anne's work ethic sets her apart from her siblings and younger generations of the royal family who might not always be seen putting in the same effort. Princess Anne's straightforward and sometimes blunt personality is another reason she has earned the nickname of the Royal Rebel. She doesn't sugarcoat things, and this attitude has earned her a lot of respect, particularly within royal circles. Anne doesn't concern herself with the media or public perception, which often sets her apart from others in her family who are more media conscious. She prefers to focus on her work and leave the drama to others. Unlike other royals, Anne has never sought out media attention. In fact, she's often made it clear that she doesn't have time for the press, preferring to let her actions speak for themselves. This approach might seem old-fashioned in today's media-driven world, but it's worked for her. Over the years, she's managed to maintain a relatively scandal-free image, despite being in the public eye her entire life. Anne has shown time and again that she's not interested in royal pageantry or celebrity culture. Her primary concern has always been duty, and that's what she continues to focus on. Even when she was younger, Anne was known for her independent streak. She was the first royal to compete in the Olympics, representing Great Britain as an equestrian in 1976. This was a big deal at the time and helped solidify her image as a royal who wasn't afraid to break the mold. Her equestrian success, combined with her dedication to public service, cemented her status as a hard-working and capable royal, not one to sit around waiting for attention or recognition. In recent years, Princess Anne's role within the royal family has become even more significant. As the family faces new challenges, such as public scrutiny, the departure of Prince Harry and Meghan, and ongoing questions about the monarchy's relevance, Anne's steady presence has been a stabilizing force. However, her bold stance on some key issues has started to make waves. Her willingness to speak her mind and offer opinions that don't always align with the family's traditional views has caused some discomfort among certain members, including King Charles. Despite being the monarch, he now finds himself having to steer through not just public opinion, but also the differing views within his own family. Anne's outspoken nature, combined with her strong work ethic and undeniable public respect, has put her in a position where her voice carries more weight than ever before. In the past, Anne has been somewhat overshadowed by her siblings, but today she's seen as a central figure in the monarchy's future direction. Her support for modernization and financial reforms in particular contrasts with some of Charles's more traditional views. This tension has only added to the pressure on King Charles, who is trying to navigate his own reign while balancing the views of strong-willed family members like Anne. As Anne's influence grows, there's a real sense of a shift happening within the family, and some even say the king is starting to panic. As Anne becomes more vocal about how the monarchy should evolve, it's clear that her opinions are being heard and taken seriously by other senior royals. Princess Anne may not always be in the spotlight, but her role within the royal family is crucial. As one of the most dedicated and hard-working royals, she has earned the respect of the public and her peers. Her no-nonsense approach to her duties, combined with her willingness to speak her mind, has made her an influential figure within the family. So if Anne decided to break her silence, we might as well listen to what she has to say. Although, in order to truly understand why her words are making Charles panic, we should explore their relationship a bit more. Relationship with King Charles. Sibling relationships are always unique, and the one between Princess Anne and King Charles is no exception. As the only daughter of Queen Elizabeth II and the younger sister to the current king, Anne has often been perceived as standing in Charles's shadow. However, the reality of their relationship is far more complicated, shaped by their early years, different personalities, and differing visions for the future of the monarchy. Over the decades, the bond between Anne and Charles has seen periods of rivalry, cooperation, and tension, particularly now that King Charles holds the throne. As public and family pressures mount, Princess Anne's influence appears to be growing, and this shift in power dynamics has led to whispers of discomfort at the top. The two siblings were raised in the same royal household, but their personalities and approaches to life could not be more different. These differences were obvious, even from a young age. Charles, as the heir to the throne, was always under intense scrutiny. He was groomed for kingship, raised to be thoughtful and contemplative, often described as sensitive and introverted. His reserved nature often left him vulnerable to criticism, especially when compared to his more outgoing, practical sister. Anne, on the other hand, was born with a different outlook. She was independent, tough, and direct. She thrived in situations where she could take action and didn't have to rely on the opinions of others. Unlike Charles, she didn't have to bear the weight of future kingship, which allowed her a greater sense of freedom. This freedom, however, also meant that Anne didn't always feel bound by the same expectations that restricted Charles. The early years of their relationship were marked by sibling rivalry, something common in many families. Anne's more confident and robust personality often contrasted with Charles's introspective and cautious nature, leading to friction between the two. Although they were close in age, their outlooks on life made them quite different, and this difference only became more pronounced as they entered adulthood and took on royal duties. As they matured, both Charles and Anne found themselves with important royal responsibilities, but the way they approached these roles was, as I said, fundamentally different. King Charles has always been focused on large-scale legacy projects. His long-standing passion for environmental issues, organic farming, and architecture has shaped much of his public persona. Charles has always thought about the long-term impact of his work, hoping to leave behind a world that aligns with his ideals, particularly in regard to environmental conservation and climate change. Anne, meanwhile, has been much more practical in her approach to royal duties. Where Charles would focus on broader, often abstract issues, Anne chose to dedicate herself to hands-on service. While Charles was contemplating the future of the planet, Anne was attending hundreds of charity events, working with Save the Children, or promoting equestrian sports. Her involvement in over 300 charities demonstrates a relentless work ethic, but it also stresses her belief in contributing through direct, on-the-ground efforts rather than overarching legacy projects. These divergent approaches have, at times, caused tension between the siblings. While both Anne and Charles are deeply committed to their roles within the monarchy, they have not always agreed on what their priorities should be. For Anne, the key to the monarchy's survival has always been service, simply getting the job done. For Charles, it's about legacy and shaping the monarchy to reflect modern values. In some ways, this has caused Anne to see her brother's approach as too idealistic, while sources close to the palate say that Charles sees Anne's pragmatism as too short-sighted. Despite these differences, the two siblings have managed to coexist, each carving out their own role in the royal structure. They have been able to work together for the good of the monarchy, but as time has passed, these differences in vision have led to deeper divisions, especially with Charles now as king. Now I know that you are eager to find out what Princess Anne said that came as a shock, even to William and Catherine, but we will get to that shortly. Just hear me out a couple of more minutes, because what I have to say is really important for this story. With King Charles now on the throne, these underlying tensions have come to the surface. Charles has long been seen as a monarch with a clear vision for the future, but Princess Anne's growing influence has reportedly unsettled the current dynamic within the family. Anne has become more vocal about her ideas on how the monarchy should operate, and some of these ideas challenge Charles's wider vision. One of the major points of tension is financial reform and the streamlining of royal duties, areas where Princess Anne has been particularly vocal. As the world changes and the monarchy comes under increased scrutiny, Anne has suggested that the royal family should be leaner, focusing on core responsibilities and minimizing its financial burden on the public. Her approach is focused on maintaining the monarchy's relevance by prioritizing service over spectacle. This more streamlined model contrasts with King Charles's expansive vision, which includes maintaining multiple royal residences and engaging in high-profile projects that align with his personal passions. Charles's ambition to use his reign to promote causes close to his heart could be seen as at odds with Anne's more pragmatic, duty-focused vision. William, as the future king, is increasingly aligning with Anne's practical approach, and this has created an additional layer of complexity in the family dynamic. As William and Anne work more closely together on modernizing the monarchy, Charles could feel isolated, which adds to the sense of instability and makes the entire royal saga even more complicated. At the heart of this relationship is a balance between family ties and royal duty. While Anne and Charles have always maintained a cordial relationship, the pressures of their respective roles have created inevitable friction. Anne's growing public influence and her support for reform within the monarchy have introduced new challenges for King Charles, who is still finding his footing as monarch. The situation is further complicated by the fact that Anne has historically been seen as someone who avoids drama and prefers to stay out of the spotlight. Her increasing involvement in discussions about the monarchy's future, combined with her strong opinions, is a new development that has taken many by surprise. Some royal insiders suggest that Anne's bold stance could lead to a new power dynamic within the family, one where Charles is no longer the sole authority on matters of royal governance. This has undoubtedly led to tension, particularly now that Charles is king and Anne's influence is growing, notably with her nephew William. Duty above all. In recent years, a quiet but strong bond has developed between Princess Anne and Prince William. While they may not have always been seen as particularly close, the two share an unwavering sense of duty to the crown, which has drawn them together in a surprising alliance. Their mutual respect originates from their commitment to the monarchy's future, and as the challenges of modernizing the royal family intensify, their partnership has only grown stronger. Both Princess Anne and Prince William have long been recognized for their deep dedication to their royal duties. Anne, often referred to as the hardest-working royal, has set an example for decades by fulfilling more engagements than many younger royals. Her work ethic resonates deeply with William, who, as the heir to the throne, has made clear his desire to maintain the monarchy's relevance through service and responsibility. Though Anne and William may not have always been seen as a natural pair within the royal family, their shared focus on duty has fostered a growing sense of mutual respect. Both have consistently put their royal obligations first, and this shared value has forged a bond between them that has only strengthened as the royal family faces increasing pressures to adapt. As time has passed, Anne and William have found more common ground, particularly when it comes to the future of the monarchy. Anne, who has spent her life serving the crown, understands the importance of adapting to changing times. William, too, is acutely aware of the need for the monarchy to modernize if it is to survive in the 21st century. Together, they have begun to champion reforms that challenge long-standing traditions, particularly around the size and role of the royal family. One key area where their alliance has grown is their shared belief in streamlining the royal family's operations. William has long voiced his desire to reduce the number of working royals and focus on a core group that represents the monarchy in the most effective way. This approach aligns closely with Anne's own views, as she has consistently demonstrated her belief in the importance of service over spectacle. By focusing on fewer, more dedicated members, both Anne and William see an opportunity to create a leaner, more efficient monarchy that better reflects modern values. For some, this dynamic suggests that a transformation within the monarchy is inevitable, with Anne and William at the forefront of that change. Catherine's role. Catherine, the Princess of Wales, has not only become a key figure in the royal family, but has also reportedly earned the admiration and respect of Princess Anne. Despite Anne's reputation for being a traditional and sometimes stern member of the family, she has come to view Catherine as a reliable and grounded royal who knows how to handle her public duties. As I mentioned before, Princess Anne is known for her no-nonsense attitude, and it takes a lot to earn her respect. Catherine has done just that by consistently displaying grace under pressure and handling the demands of public life with remarkable composure. As a mother of three, wife to the future king, and a public figure, Catherine balances her roles without drawing unnecessary attention or drama, qualities that resonate with Anne's own approach to royal life. Unlike some other members of the royal family, she has managed to maintain a sense of normalcy while fulfilling her royal duties. She is seen as a steady presence, someone who can be relied upon to represent the monarchy with dignity and respect. Anne, who has spent her entire life in service to the crown, appreciates this sense of reliability and grace, traits that align closely with her own values. But the thing is that Catherine has played a crucial role in shaping Prince William's approach to his royal duties. As his wife and partner, she has supported his vision of a more modern and streamlined monarchy. Together, they have worked to modernize their public image, emphasizing their roles as working royals dedicated to service rather than ceremony. This approach has earned them widespread public support, but it has also caught the attention of Princess Anne. Anne has witnessed how Catherine has bolstered William's confidence and strengthened his ability to go through the complexities of royal life. The modernization that William seeks, which includes reducing the number of working royals and focusing on a core group of dedicated family members, has been reinforced by Catherine's own dedication to the crown. Her influence on William's vision has not only modernized their public image, but also brought a fresh perspective to the royal family. In many ways, Catherine has become a bridge between tradition and modernity within the royal family, representing the next generation while respecting the values of the past. Anne seems to be recognizing that Catherine's influence on William is helping to guide the monarchy toward a more sustainable future, one that balances service and modernization. As Princess Anne watches the next generation of royals step into their roles, she has grown to appreciate the way Catherine has shaped the public image of the royal family. Their relationship, while perhaps not as publicly discussed as Anne's bond with William, is built on a shared understanding of what it means to serve the crown with dedication and integrity. But what if there was something more? The future of the monarchy. What if what recently happened means that it's over? Princess Anne just broke her silence and shocked William and Catherine with her views on the future direction of the monarchy. For the first time, Anne not only endorsed William's approach to handling family matters, including his plans for financial reforms and streamlining royal duties, but she also mentioned something that put the king in panic. Anne is reported as having said that she always thought Charles should simply give up being a king altogether, as he never was cut for being one. Instead, he should have let William and Catherine take over. Princess Anne's public support has stunned the entire royal family, not only the two of them, but there was more. In a recent interview, she voiced her agreement with William's plans to modernize the monarchy. His approach, which focuses on cutting back on excess spending, reducing the number of working royals, and making the family more accountable to the public, aligns closely with Anne's long-held belief in putting duty above all else. Her decision to back William, especially on such a level, signals a significant shift in royal dynamics. Anne's influence, combined with William's growing role as a future king, could mark a turning point in how the monarchy operates, bringing in a new era of transparency and efficiency. As a traditionalist, Charles has always been deeply attached to the existing structure of the monarchy. His focus has been on maintaining a broad and visible royal family that reflects the monarchy's long-standing legacy. Anne's public backing of William's push for a smaller, more streamlined royal family challenges this vision and raises concerns that the balance of power within the family could shift. And of course, the king is panicking. Anne's influence cannot be underestimated. As one of the most respected royals, her support for William's plans gives them credibility and legitimacy. For Charles, this development could signal that his own vision for the monarchy is becoming outdated. The prospect of a future where William's more modern approach takes precedence over Charles's traditional views has reportedly left the king unsettled, leading to speculation that he is scrambling to maintain control of the family's direction. Princess Anne's decision to break her silence and publicly support William's vision for the future of the monarchy marks a major moment in royal history. But tell me, what do you think about her idea of Charles retreating? Let us know in the comments.